I have to kill you. Try it, but I'm no king.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're revealing our picks for the most challenging bosses in the Witcher franchise. Be warned, major spoilers ahead. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Caretaker, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Hearts of Stone.
Another thief. Bodies mutilated. Who are you?
Hearts of Stone is significantly more challenging than the base game, with many frustrating bosses to fight. One of its creepiest bosses is the Caretaker, wielding a hefty shovel that deals way more damage than expected. The most difficult aspect is his regeneration. Every hit he lands on you will heal him. Remember to spam Quen, which prevents this, and alongside this, he summons spirits who will also restore his health if not killed in time. If you kill him, you can loot his spade from his corpse, a decent weapon which heals Geralt 10% of all damage inflicted.
No eyes or nostrils, deformed organs. Damn thing had no right to be alive.
The Caranthir, The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings. The second Witcher game is where the series started to shine, introducing a satisfying combat system with deep RPG mechanics. It's harder than its sequel, especially in the early game, with things like alchemy not being a build choice but an essential mechanic. The Caranthir is the first major monster and the game's first real skill check. If you know what you're doing, it's not too bad, but to learn, you must suffer. Once beaten, you will feel like a true Witcher. Your reward is the Caranthir skin, a component for the Caranthir carapace armor, one of the best in the early game.
I've used up much of my energy, so if you needed help...
I've learned to help myself. A sorceress worried about me. Should I be scared?
Playing it tough, like every Witcher.
Imlerith, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
I'm here alone.
A lie which will change nothing.
Geralt comes toe-to-toe with the Hunt's second general in Velen, on top of Bald Mountain during the Crone's Sabbath. He wields a huge shield and a monstrous mace, and he has phases of teleporting around. You need to master dodging to win this fight, and patience is key. When beaten, the victory cutscene is an amazing reward, with Geralt using Imlerith's own weapon to deliver the finishing blow. Don't forget to loot his body, which will give you a singular magic acorn. It can be consumed for 2 skill points, or delivered to the villagers, boosting their harvest. Iris's greatest fear, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Hearts of Stone. Now for one of the most unforgiving bosses in the game. It's the ethereal form of Olgierd, considered by many to be the hardest boss. It's straightforward, but punishing, only letting you make a few mistakes. You face 6 opponents, but only one at a time, unless you hit them, then they'll jump right in. Each one will come down on you with an onslaught of flurry attacks, and they'll all frequently teleport. Even if you know what you're doing, one small mistake and you're dead. If you want even more of a challenge, fighting all 6 together gives you the win it's many against one achievement, one of the game's rarest. Letho, The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings.
Force me to fight, and this time I'll kill you. Time to fight. Ready as I'll ever be.
The Kingslayer is the game's primary antagonist, a fellow Witcher hailing from the School of Viper. It only makes sense that he's one of the game's strongest opponents. Geralt fights him twice, and both times are a challenge, but the first encounter is harder. The arena is smaller, your character is weaker, and you haven't had as much practice. Since he's a witcher, he'll use signs too, like Quen, which is an absolute headache to deal with. It's easiest to beat him using magic rather than with a sword, although he is susceptible to parries if you're confident enough. Fascinatingly, sparing his life causes him to appear in The Witcher 3. Caranthir, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Witcher, so be it. Let us end this.
The Wild Hunt's main mage and navigator is the hardest hunt warrior Geralt faces. Both Geralt and Ciri face him off just before the final boss, Eredin, who is nowhere near as threatening as his mage. The Ciri section is significantly easier, having access to a teleport and regenerating health. When Geralt steps in, Caranthir dials it up to 11 and starts unleashing torrents of magic. He teleports frequently in both phases and also summons ice elementals to distract you. They're not difficult, but they'll draw your attention away from his constant projectiles. Once he's defeated, only Eredin stands between you and the ending. Toad Prince, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Hearts of Stone. Despite being just a toad, this boss packs a hefty punch, and is the first major skill check in Hearts of Stone. He used to be a prince, until he nearly married Iris, whom Olgierd loved, so Olgierd cursed him, turning him into a massive toad. It's no use trying to backstab him, he'll just kick and jump. Don't stand in front as well, or his mighty tongue will devastate you. Ensure you bring a few poison potions, or even go one step further and chug a superior golden oriole potion. This grants healing from poison, putting the odds in Geralt's favor. Azar Javed, The Witcher.
What say you, Witcher? Still the indifferent tough guy?
You're bluffing. You send assassins after me, conjure up beautiful words, threaten to kill me. But you're scared to death and simply postponing the inevitable.
Most of this game's difficulty comes from its old age and dated mechanics. As such, it has its fair share of frustrating bosses, but for many, it's not a fun challenge. Azar Javed is one of the major antagonists and is a headache to fight. He's a fire mage who can quite easily mortally burn an unprepared Geralt. Be prepared to get knocked off your feet, and all you can do is watch as Javed abuses you. Once defeated, it's doubtful you'll struggle against anything else the game throws at you.
Javed's dead.
Witcher Geralt.
Expect to see me, Grandmaster. Soon.
Saskia, The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings.
We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it. This is your end, Witcher.
If you sided with Roche, then the dragon fought near the end of the game will be simply another monster. If you sided with Iorveth, you will know the Adrenian rebel is secretly a dragon. When fought, she's being mind-controlled by Philippa Eilhart, motivating those who took Iorveth's path to spare her. The fight takes place on a tiny tower roof, giving you little room to dodge the dragon's attacks. Once succeeded, players can choose to spare or kill Saskia. Her best ending is achieved by helping Philippa instead of Triss, letting you both spare her and break her spell.
We were fighting to the death just minutes ago.
I understand. I believe I owe you part of my treasure. Family tradition and all.
Dettlaff, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Blood and Wine.
Came here to kill you.
Brief and to the point. How refreshing.
The Beast of Beauclair is the primary villain in Blood and Wine, alongside being the final boss of the entire franchise until The Witcher 4 releases. He's up there with Ethereal Olgierd for being considered the game's hardest. He maintains his humanoid form during Phase 1, but in Phase 2, he turns into a horrifying flying vampire. His third and final phase is even more terrifying, taking place inside the vampire's organs. Rather than tackling him head-on, Geralt must destroy his 3 hearts, allowing him to finally defeat the ungodly vampire.
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist.
Are there any bosses you want to see return in the next game? Let us know in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.